Salama family, Sister Ashanda here. I want to thank y'all so much just for your love and your support this past December while I was away, moving into my new place with my family and taking a much needed break. I just appreciate y'all so much. It's been a while since I've done Tuesday Thoughts, but I wanted to share some things, some insights from my heart, particularly concerning trauma. We're going to deal with the issue of when it hurts. So I was speaking to a sis of mine, and forgive me if y'all hear that background noise, but I was speaking to a sis of mine, and you know, we had such a great conversation, and she was talking to me about why we do what we do. Oftentimes we do it and we're not even aware of why we do the things that we do. And you know, if you can think of things, for example, like cooking a particular way that we cook, or cleaning a particular way that we clean, oftentimes that goes back to the way we saw our parents do it, and so we kind of just pick up on those things. But also how we look at relationships, the way that we look at relationships. Now, sometimes we'll find ourselves bringing an individual closer to us, and sometimes we'll find ourselves pushing an individual away. And we kind of, you know, don't know why it is that this person we can mesh with, but that person over there we're struggling to really connect with. So my sister was saying that sometimes we don't know why we do the things that we do, and we need to seek the Most High as to find out what the root cause of why we are wired the way we are. You know, sometimes, and I think especially in our community, we have what's called self-sabotage. And self-sabotage can show itself in many different ways. But I find that it shows itself particularly in the realm of what could be success in our life. Success in our relationships with our spouse, success in our relationship with our children, success in our relationship with business, finances. Oftentimes, when we think about coming up out of that place of hurt and pain and trauma associated around these general topics, we're actually engaging in behavior that is bringing us that pain. We're engaging in behavior that's keeping us in that negative space. So I give you an example. You know, they talk about sometimes when you're afraid of success. Afraid of success meaning that, you know, I don't know how I'll handle this if this comes along. You know, a perfect example is when my channel started to grow. When my channel started to grow from 250 to 500 to 750, and then it was moving on up into the thousands, it made me a little scared. I was like, wait a minute. All of a sudden, like, more people are listening to me. This is scary. And I would think of the negative of having more people listen to me. Well, the reason why I was thinking about the negative is because when you've been hardwired for default, meaning that things aren't going to go right, you know, things are going to go wrong. I just know something is going to go wrong. When you're hardwired that way because of trauma, because of struggles in your life, when a measure of success comes, you don't necessarily know how to handle it. Kind of like the dog who's barking after the car, only for the car to stop and him to catch up with the car. And he's like, okay, I got the car, now I don't know what to do with it. Because a lot of times we're hardwired for the pain. We're hardwired for the hurt. We're hardwired for the disappointment. We're hardwired for the hook. You know, my husband used to say, watch for the hook. We're hardwired that way. Now, why are we hardwired that way? I believe a lot of why we're hardwired that way is because of the curse. Now, we know 400 years has passed, but at the end of the day, it's like a well-worn path in many of our lives and many of our minds. It's a well-worn path to move in a particular way. So if we have a relationship that could be a good relationship, the well-worn path of curse and volatility can follow us. So we begin to sabotage. We begin to say things and do things to provoke the spouse or the partner that we're with before they even get a chance to be a spouse, because we've only seen misrepresentation, we've only seen confusion, we've only seen dysfunctional living. So that's what we're used to putting out. This is why, family, we have to be transformed by the renewing of our minds. This is why we have to really begin to examine what's on the inside of us. Now, let me tell you something. This is not an easy thing to do. It's not easy for me. And I imagine it's not easy for you, really digging in. And I'm not telling you to just take an incision around your brain, pluck open your brain and just take all the things out at one time. No, it's little by little. Because some things, some traumatic things that you've experienced are so painful that the process of it is going to take time. And if you try to open up that can of worms too early, it can put you in a mental state that you cannot function in from one day to the next. But this is why when we pray, this is why when we seek the Most High Yahuwah, we're seeking Him for those little answers, those people that He can bring around us to help to open up the eyes of our understanding about the trauma that we face in our life. Because when you think about it, sometimes a person can see totally different than you could see about your own life. I was speaking with my sister and she said, you're you all the time. You don't see or hear you. We see and we hear you. And when she said those words, it impacted me because I thought about that's how it is with us. We don't see ourselves. We don't see how we've learned to function in trauma. We don't see how we've learned to function in dysfunction. It's just a part of us. But when we want to see things change, when we want to get past the hurt, and we want to get into the place of success in every area of our life, when we want to stop habitually doing the things that our forefathers and foremothers did, whether it's eating wrong, whether it's a lack of exercise, whether it's sabotaging our relationships, whether it's not being disciplined in our finances, or more importantly than all of those, disciplined in our time with the Most High Yahuwah, in our devotional period, in our prayer. All of those areas in our life that we want to see success, we want to see correction, we want to see clarity, order in our life, that we need to consult with Him, that He may bring someone to us, or 2 or 3 people. There's wisdom in a multitude of counselors that can help us see our blind spots. They can help us see those areas of our life where they need attention, they need correction. Maybe they need tender care. Maybe you have areas in your life where you've been battered and abused verbally for such a long time that that's a well-worn path in your life, and everybody that comes into your life feeds into that. And you need someone who's going to speak life into you. You need someone who's going to tell you, woman of the Most High, how beautiful you really are on the inside and the outside. That you don't have to look for attention from men, because you have the attention of your Father in heaven. Man of the Most High, maybe you need someone who is going to encourage you in your strength, that you can do that business that you have really wanted to do for the last 5 or 10 years. You can love your wife differently than what you saw your father do. You can spend time with your children. Family, I just want to encourage you all today to look at those places in your life where hurt and pain continues to follow you, where it's a well-worn path of trauma and abuse, and allow the Most High to correct these things little by little in you, because it's a transformation process. I'm going through it myself. I'm not talking to you all from a place of I've been there and done that. I'm not talking to you all from that place. I'm talking to you from the perspective of I'm there now. I'm in that moment of examining the different areas of my life and saying, wait a minute, this right here, there's something that I thought was just normal, and it wasn't normal. Another good example is after giving birth to my children. The first child, I got an opportunity to rest, but I wanted to be Superwoman, right? And when my body needed to rest, I didn't understand that. rest, like I was so worn out, and I didn't understand how I could be so worn out. But you know, the normal mind says, I just gave birth to an entire human being who I carried for 9 months. I need time to process and heal. But not my mind. My mind was, no, I can't be lazy. I got to get up. I got to do this. I got to do that. And I did this over and over again. Pregnancy after pregnancy, delivery after delivery. I wouldn't give myself the space and time that I needed for my body to recover. Now I have a 2-year-old. I have 15 to 2 years old. And my body is still going through a healing process of giving birth 2 years ago. But I hadn't had the time. It's like a well-worn path in my mind. Got to keep going. Got to keep moving. I hadn't had the time to recover. Boy, this sun is bright. What I'm saying to you, family, is now I'm recognizing the need to look at that area of my life and say, it's okay to rest. It's okay to allow my body to heal. It's okay. I don't have to feel like a failure for getting an extra hour of sleep. I don't have to feel like I'm not doing enough because I need to take a 15-20 minute break. You see, we've been ingrained in the slave mentality. Yeah, it goes back. It goes deep. That trauma goes so deep. But we need to look at every area of our life and say, wait a minute. What area of my life am I thinking dysfunctionality? Am I thinking curse rather than thinking blessing? Who have I allowed to speak into my life that continues to feed into that well-worn path? Do I need to shut out that voice? Do I need to hear a new voice? The voice of the Most High for this part of the journey. These are some things I just want to put on the table for y'all to think about concerning hurt and trauma in your life. Allow Him to minister healing to you. This is a time where we are desperately in need of healing. I am in desperate need of healing. You are in desperate need of healing. How can we fight when we're all bruised and broken up, broken legs, broken arm, broken spirit, broken soul? How can we fight effectively like that? Do we think that the Most High is unable to fight our battles and be Yahuwah Sabaoth in our life unless we're engaging all the time? Can we pull back and allow Him to heal us, to be ready for the war? Let Him put out those little fires. Let Him heal that trauma in your life. I, for one, am on the journey of healing. And I pray that you are as well. Hey, listen, fam, that's all I have for you today. But I want to encourage you. Listen, take advantage of this January one-on-one consultation. It is 100% free for those 30 minutes. And I know sometimes we don't like to really, expose ourselves. We want to be tough all the time. But take advantage of this time to connect one-on-one with me. I want to meet with you. I'm so serious about this, family. I want to meet with you. I want to meet one-on-one. So take advantage of this time and go ahead and sign up. Sign up before the month is over. All right? Before the slots are all full, sign up and take advantage. All right, family. Thank you again for all your love and your support. Thank you for being there. I love y'all with the love of the Most High. As always, family, love yourselves without hating your enemies. And until next time, y'all bless and salam.